Okay, prepare yourself once again, guys. This is Chris with Talking Through the Medias, and I'm with a new friend of mine. I just we met on the TikTok app, a man by the name of Liam, and we had a very interesting conversation. There's a video that he posted that we're going to discuss. If you haven't already read the, the title of this video and looked at the thumbnail already, but Mr. Liam Richards, if you don't mind, want to introduce you to the audience and just let everybody know a little bit about yourself before we get started.
I'm Liam. I'm really big into comics and movies and TV shows that go with those. And I guess I just made an observation with that video that not a lot of people have ever noticed before. So.
Exactly, you're right. It's something that I did not notice until you really pointed it out. And right now, I'll do this. I'm gonna let me cut to that video real quick and show you guys exactly what we're talking about.
What is a trope in media that once you saw it, you could not unsee it?
This isn't necessarily a trope, but a trend I've noticed, and I don't know if it's just somebody at the CW who decides this, but for the majority of the traditionally nerdy, redheaded characters in comic books have now been written as very strong black characters, like Jimmy Olsen on Supergirl, Wally West on The Flash, Starfire in Titans, Batwoman in Batwoman, Barbara Gordon in the Lego Batman movie, Annie. And this isn't bad. I don't think they're like trying to stifle the voice of redheaded characters or anything like that. It's just weird and I don't have an explanation for it.
So in this video that you posted, I think you only posted it. Did you only put it on TikTok or did you like post it anywhere else?
Yeah.
You did?
I was only on TikTok.
I was only on TikTok. So, and you said you've got, look, I'm gonna be honest with you. When I first saw it, I really expected to like be triggered or angry. I'm like, what's gonna happen here? What's this guy gonna say? But everything you said was 100% true. I looked at this video and I said, I don't want to read the comments because I'm pretty sure there's going to be a bunch of idiots saying stuff, one way or another. But it's true. I don't know if there's a conspiracy. Here's my theory. There's some guy in CW who there's a black guy up there in CW who dated a redhead and got his heart broken. He's like, well, you know what I'm gonna change every redhead. I'll show her or the other way. I don't know. That's my conspiracy theory. Because if it would have been me, that's probably something I would have did. Just a little payback. But it was just an observation that you made.
Maybe.
What do you think? What do you think about the observation of it? What's your theories on this?
I first noticed it when I was watching The Flash, I think, and they had the Kid Flash came in, and he was played by a black character or a black actor,
right.
And then the same with Iris, I'm pretty sure. And it was like weird to me. I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. More like representation. And then like I then after that found out that there's like a different Kid Flash in the comics. And then I was and then what else did I watch? I was watching
was it Supergirl?
Supergirl.
Yeah.
Supergirl. Yeah. And Jimmy Olsen. And I was like, okay, that's kind of weird. And I felt it kind of similar because like Kid Flash and Jimmy Olsen are both kind of these like nerdy characters.
Right.
They kind of are like these nerdy secondary characters that kind of provide this comic relief. It was weird to me because both the new character Jimmy Olsen and the new Kid Flash, they're both kind of like really serious. It feels like less of a comic relief.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was odd to me, and I started noticing it more, like with Starfire, which that was a large debate in the comment section. There was whether Starfire has always been coded black or not, because like you have in the original ones in the original comics in the 80s, she was drawn with like super big hair, but then again it was the '80s, so everybody had big hair.
Everybody,
and then, of course, with the
everybody
Teen
looked.
Titans show,
Everybody had that rock star '80s hair. Yeah.
and then the Teen Titans show, of course, she was on less like that. And so like it was kind of weird. But then what else was there? Was Bad Girl, which that one was also less because like it was two different Bad Girls. So it was like two different characters.
Right.
But it was just this interesting thing that I noticed, and it's kind of risky to make it because I was like, I don't want people to think that I'm saying this is bad. That I think there's like this conspiracy against redheads or anything like that. So,
yeah. No, you leave. No, you leave that to me. I'll take the hit on that. Like Liam. No, Liam was very clear. He wasn't pointing it out, saying that this was a bad thing or not. It was just a very funny coincidence. I mean, once is a coincidence. What do they say? Once is a coincidence, or twice is a coincidence, and then another time is a conspiracy. This he points out very clearly a consistent, like, and you pointed it out that it's usually the comic relief. Usually, like let's keep it on Jimmy Olsen, for example. Bumbling, like almost like the way Superman is when he's playing Clark Kent, like a very like nerdy type character. But then when they want to recast him as a black character, he's the opposite of it. He's still Jimmy Olsen. He's still into photography. The core background is there, but you change the ethnicity.
Right.
You had no problem with that. But you change he's no longer nerdy. He's tougher. I mean, I'm sure you've gotten the jokes on it from the comment section. Like I said, I didn't read too many of the comments, but I guess maybe people would probably, if you were a redhead, do you think were there people who were maybe semi offended, like saying like, is the opposite of a comic relief redhead a military trained black guy or something like were you reading into it like a little bit like that, or were you seeing comments like that?
There was definitely a lot. There was everything from like people with like Punisher logo profile pictures, saying that they're trying to oppress white people, and they're starting with the redheads. There was people explaining how, like, because they're secondary characters, they have like quotas for diversity in these shows, and so rather than replacing like a main character, they'd rather replace like a secondary character. There were people saying that like redheads are like the black people, white people, and it was just a lot there. It was very interesting.
Yeah, I was pretty sure that those were going to be some of the jokes. And look, like I said, it could be one executive's, one CW or WB's total bias against redheads or black people or something like that. It could be that. We're never going to prove it unless this person reveals themselves for whatever they hang up that they have. We're never going to be able to prove it. But you pointed out a couple of them, which made just when I saw it, I just my jaw hit the floor. I'm like, he's not wrong. It's funny. It's funny because this triggers a lot of people who just have a problem with recastings, and especially when you change gender or ethnicity and stuff like that. There's just some people that's just gonna have a problem with it. But when you saw that pattern, Jimmy Olsen, Kid Flash, I'm gonna say that Starfire is debatable because she's an alien. Because even technically Superman to me isn't a Caucasian; he's a Kryptonian. So I mean, that's usually what I say. Right. But Little Orphan Annie, it's like, what is going on? Why is it that? So if they did a movie if they did a biopic based on you, they would probably cast me to play the role. Like, what's going on with this? So I'm like, I'm Liam. How you doing? How you doing? But it was more than one. It was more than two. It was more than three examples that you pointed out. And so I just thought,
There's even
Wow.
people in the comments pointing out more and more and more.
Yeah. Were they
Yeah,
giving
there's like
more
I mentioned like
examples?
Barbara Gordon from Lego Batman.
Oh, was she? I thought she was.
Yeah, there was
Was she
let
black
me
in
think.
the
There was
in?
a character from The Witcher.
Hmm.
Yeah, there was a couple more examples, and I was like, even seeing that, I was like, oh, dang, I guess there is a couple more.
I'm wondering if who knows? This might. I feel like this could be a new beginning. This could be a whole start of of coming together of redheads and and black people. Like we all come together as these two minorities in the struggle for representation in Hollywood. Because I'm gonna tell you why that's funny to me, because the comedian Bill Burr, before he went bald like me, he's a redhead and he jokes about this all the time. He's like, people who are always bitching about representation. He's like, dude, I am a middle-aged, freckle-faced redhead. I barely get roles in TV or movies anymore ever. And he's married to a black woman, so that conversation between him and his wife are always really funny, because she'll talk about like representation in the black community, and then he'll go, "Hold on, I'm a bald head, freckle faced redhead, and I'm never represented, and you never see us in any action films and stuff like that." I'm like, he got a point. He's got a point. Even though those are two different conversations, but it was funny though how you pointed it out,
Right.
and I legit did not think about it until you pointed out, because people are usually only pointing out when any role gets cast as a black person. So people will make their jokes and say stuff like, "Well, what if I did a movie about Martin Luther King and cast Tom Hanks?" And I'm like, "Well, then you would be ridiculous on top of being racist, because
Right.
Martin Luther King was real." And Kid Flash was not. So, but it's just that those are never the examples. So that's not the conversation that me and Liam are having right here. We're not talking about whether or not. I mean, a lot of people might have their hangups on whether or not they like people to be recast or not. We're not talking about that. What we're talking about is what looks like more than just a simple coincidence when you have this many, and it's. I would not have thought about it if maybe one of them were cast as or recast as Asian or Hispanic or something like that. And you're just mixing it all up, right? Literally. But you consistently nerdy redhead, militant black guy, nerdy redhead, comic relief, black guy. It kept happening. I'm like, this wasn't Martin Luther King played by a white guy, Malcolm X played by a white guy. No, this was not that. This was actually happening. So it just blew my mind, man. You don't want to speculate any other theories that you might have. My money is on angry executive who was dumped and is now trying to change all of the
That's
DC.
probably what it is, honestly.
That's probably what it is. Just that
I think
red.
everybody's looking too deep into it, you know?
Yeah, I probably would be doing the same thing. There's this redheaded woman from back in the day that I had a crush on. She broke my heart, and I'm going to get. And I know she loves DC characters. So my ultimate master plan was to infiltrate the higher offices of the Warner Brothers studio and wipe out all of the redheads with one Thanos like snap. Because I mean that's the movie I would want to see. But when it's all said and done, that's the documentary I want to. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I'm going to now look into this more because of the fact that you pointed out. What other like conspiracies or what other patterns have you noticed before I let you go? Because I know we're about to wrap it up soon. But any other are you working on anything else, or was that just a one and done, like a simple? I just noticed it and I just posted it.
Um, I just really noticed it and posted it. I responded to like one comment about like Starfire's origin and how like whether or not she was black coded or not. Which I mean I can't really say because I'm white. But like I don't really, diving more into it. It's kind of like this risky area for me. It's like I mean I can be like, oh, there's no representation for redheaded people, but then I can't, the other end there. So
Well, I'll be your buffer then.
yeah.
You're invited to the cookout over here, man. So I'll say it again because Starfire to me is that's I don't, it does I feel like they cast a black person maybe because of I can't prove this. It's probably for one of the same reasons why they chose Rosario Dawson to play Ahsoka Tano. Maybe for the simple one of the major facts is because Rosario Dawson has the name recognition and the talent to do it, and she's been proven to do good work on these types of TV shows. But I'm wondering, because since Starfire was cast as black on the Titans show, and Rosario Dawson playing Ahsoka Tano, which is an orange-skinned character, I wonder if it's also a makeup thing, like a lighting kind of a thing. Like I haven't looked into it much, but if I was just to guess right now, I would think that brown skin probably translates better on screen for that color.
It could very well be, yeah.
It just could be simply that. And then on top of that, just all you guys that are all sensitive and being all butthurt about one thing, Ahsoka Tano and Starfire are aliens that don't really exist. So I would not have cared if they were played by white, Asian, Hispanic, or black, and they just because they were still going to put that makeup on them to be orange anyway. It did not matter. That would not matter to me. But this pattern though, this pattern is hilarious.
As long as the writing for the character is good.
Exactly.
That's all I really want. Yeah.
And you mentioned that, and but me when I noticed it, I just couldn't help. I just started giggling, and I said, no, if you're gonna pass the baton to me, if you feel like you can't go further, I'll go the rest of the way for you because I'm gonna ask those awkward questions. I'm gonna go right into Warner Brothers and be like, okay. What brother in here got dumped by that redhead and is now trying to erase the DC redhead history over here? Who hurt you? Show called We Got Your Mail, because I'm fascinated about little stuff like this. It blows my mind. But Liam Richards, I appreciate you having time to sit down and talk to me, man. I know we both probably got stuff to do in the next few minutes here. But let my audience know where they can find you once again if they want to reach out to you, if they want to follow you or subscribe to you on your platform.
You can find me on Instagram at Liam_does_stuff.mp4. It's more like my personal Instagram. I post like little film things that I do on there every so often. And you can find my TikTok at Arizona with 2 R's GT. And there I just post random stuff. Really, I have no organization for anything, but hopefully some of it's good. So.
I'm gonna slowly try to push him to becoming a guy who just connects the dots in the comic book world and just notices the little weird things. So that's gonna be his niche in the future. We'll get him there. But this is proof right here that this was just a friendly conversation, just about something funny that I noticed that he brought up that it was 100% true. I mean, whether you like it or not, it happened. So he pointed it out, and I back him up. And so the from the redhead delegation to the black delegation, we're here together just to have this, just to laugh about it and have this conversation. So all you guys, just point out any other little odd little coincidences in the comic book world or the movie world that you've noticed, and send them to me because I want to talk about it, guys. So until next time, appreciate you guys' time, and until we meet again, guys, peace.
If you like what you saw, make sure to subscribe to the channel and please drop a like on this video. It really does help us. Also, don't forget you can turn on notifications so you don't miss a single review, react, why is that trending, or we got your mail.